Bobby Skinner from the Talkin Giants crew, part of the John Boy Media Empire, which is
we're live right now. Okay.
building.
Oh, we're live right now. Don't worry, Bobby. I'm for the last 24 hours, I thought I was talking to a 49ers a beat writer, and then he's like, "All right, we're ready for our Zoom. We're Talking Giants," and I'm like, "Who? Talking Giants in San Francisco?" So I didn't know either. Welcome, Bobby.
Okay.
That's how you do, man.
I thought you were saying that the beat writer that you were talking to. Anyway, no, we're both dumb today. Anyways,
trust me. You know what? We are definitely having blonde moments. But it's totally okay because it's 2020 and the Giants are 0-2. So blonde moments will happen for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Do we have any? Who do we have? Do we have any blondes on the team? Gates is kind of blonde, right?
Yeah, he's kind of blonde.
Long hair. Yeah.
I mean, you just got to go through the white guys and see which ones. Daniel Jones not.
What? Odell wasn't white. He was blonde.
Say that.
That's true.
There's plenty of guys who have the white frosted tips.
Caden Smith is a blonde.
Wait, what about Facro? What kind of hair does he have?
I don't know. I'm not a Facro I'm not a big Facro guy.
David Stills.
I know you're not.
I wanted.
Yeah. So I mean, right now, me and you are the ones that are like the blondes representing the Giants. Honestly,
that's correct. You and Ryan Connolly.
Yeah. Did you see? I've been doing some like NFL stuff, and I was like, "Oh, Connolly got in." I checked the snap count. It was literally one play, and whatever side you were on, you had plenty of ammo from that one play because he shoots the gap, makes a great play, and then he misses the tackle. So whatever side you were on, that clip, you could use it whatever way you wanted.
I thought your tweet was awesome. I liked it because I thought the same way you did. I thought any side could use it. I wish you left out the LOL because only because it didn't really say where you stood. You know, and everybody that follows,
That's why I did do the LOL because I didn't want to have people telling me to stop whining for another 24 hours over a joke.
It didn't matter. I read the comments. Stop whining. So it's funny because he did shoot that gap and it was awesome. And no, he didn't make the tackle, but he slowed him enough down where his teammates did. So whatever ammo you need, it was right there. You're right. It is what it is. Hey, look, I was a Ryan Connolly fan. I didn't put him in the Hall of Fame like some people did, but we starved for athletic linebackers, and we had one. And I thought that he was a linebacker from sideline to sideline. I can't believe he was gone, but I wasn't crying over spilt milk. But I'll tell you right now, I hope you post 50 more videos of him missing tackles because that's the only way we'll ever get him.
I was gonna say if he plays great, I'm not dealing with that. If he misses tackles, I always knew Joe Judge got this one right.
Yeah.
Did you see right before he got claimed? Because I was name searching Ryan Connolly to see if he got claimed the day after, and there was some other random guy named Ryan Connolly, and he tweeted about smoking or something, and I was like, "This is why the Giants cut you, Ryan Connolly."
Yes. And then that was awesome. Yeah.
Patricia Traina and a couple other people you realize that's not the real Ryan Connolly, and just blew the guy's tweet up.
You think? Yeah. You know what? I think. And Mike and I have had this conversation so many times. The greatest part of social media is when the people don't get the joke. The other day, somebody, what was it? Somebody wrote something, and it was like, we'll never see another Lawrence Taylor. And I wrote, this is before the second game, and I wrote, did you not see Blake Martinez last week?
I did. I saw the person respond to you.
Right. Well, there you go. And I'm like, come on, man. I assume that the responses that don't get that have to be 17 and younger.
These are your fans, LPG. These are your fans.
No, I'm assuming they just don't get it. And the greatest thing about, at least when you tweet something out, like Mike, when you do it, or Bobby or Justin or myself or whatever, and you think it's such a good joke in your head. You know, this is
Yeah.
gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
great.
Every time.
Every time, and then like it's room right by. I hate that.
What's your percentage of tweets that are sarcastic?
Mine?
Everyone. A question for Bobby too.
All right, Bobby, you answer that because mine.
I'll probably go 1 out of 10 because I try to do like the serious film and stats. But like every game day, like Giants 49ers, I'll tweet out Giants 77, 49ers 0. And then once I'll get replies to that after the game of people like, this aged poorly. It's like, yeah, I promise you this tweet will age poorly every single week. Even if we win 56-0. I mean, this is a horrible tweet every week. But I love this age poorly.
Nothing grinds me out more than this age poorly or just the L. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, here's your L.
That
Nothing
is,
grinds you up
like
because
you said, teenagers. That's teenagers who, like, they just have the same joke just loaded up over and over again.
there's no doubt that in everybody's, draft, it's this age poorly, this age poorly, this age poorly. And then it's just gearing up to say it. And Mike, to be honest with you, you asked me about the sarcastic tweets. I mean, every single time I write, Giants are winning this week, everybody thinks I'm being sarcastic anyway. So it really doesn't matter how many times I say it.
There is a great account. I mean, obviously, everyone knows Freezing Cold Takes. Those guys, I haven't seen a lot from them lately, that guy. But that's the best when it's actually something that backfires, a serious take, a serious tweet that backfires is the greatest.
Yeah, I think I follow that as well. But again, he's the reason, or that account's the reason why everybody else tries to be that way.
Exactly, 100%. All right, so let's just shift gears a second we'll talk about our linebackers who, for the first time in a long time, are showing some actual promise, and our defense as a whole, including one number 24, who's going to be reinventing the number 24 for the Giants. What's our takes, Joe? That I don't know, it was Pro Football Focus or someone had the Giants as a top. I think they were ranked sixth, maybe from the defensive side this week. The numbers suggest a very, very stagnant, a very, very staunch defense right now going forward.
I don't know about all that, but the defense is definitely playing a hell of a lot better than the offense. Well, that's what happens when, you're on the field 90% of the game. But I'd rather our other two linebackers, that's another tweet that Bobby put out there, Downs and what's his name, having one tackle combined. So we're not doing great, but they are flying around the ball. So I don't know. I kind of like it. Bobby, you were more into linebacking than anything this offseason, I thought. Following how you follow the linebackers. What's your take on all that?
Martinez has been pretty good. Like week one, he was unbelievable. Week two was a little different. The outside guys like Carter, Golden and hasn't been great, but he hasn't played much. Jimenez didn't get a ton of play. Fackrell played really well in week two. And then, like you mentioned, Downs and Crowder. Like, yeah, when Downs played, it wasn't good, but he also only got like 10 reps. Like, we're doing a bunch of free safety stuff. And I do like that. But a team against the 49ers, that's going to run the ball like crazy. We need one of those two to step up and actually play. Because I remember watching Martinez when they signed him and play against the 49ers, who just gashed the Packers. And it's like, man, they're leaving just Martinez on an island to do everything. And no wonder, like, they're gashing him in the run game. So need one of those guys to step up. I like Crowder, though, out of Georgia.
I agree. It's funny you say that because, Golden, who had such a good year last year, everybody expects that player to step up the same way. But the way that they're being used in the defense, no, I'm not saying that it's by committee because but they're not getting the snaps that they got. So, you can't expect the numbers that they had. You also can't expect Blake Martinez to have 12 tackles, 8 solos every single game. So all of a sudden, he gets 4 tackles. They're like, oh, I knew he wasn't good. The first week was just, a mistake. So who knows? But yes, I love the way Zoe Carter has been. I think he's been really fast off the ball. I think he's been incredibly strong, and I expect him to continue that. This was his year. Either X-Man or Zoe Carter. Somebody had to step up this year, and it looks like it's Carter.
And how much of this is Graham? Like, how much of this is Patrick Graham? I didn't really know much about him, but defensive front, the front four, when they're on, I'll get to that in a second too, because there's some weird analytics around not having Dexter Lawrence on the field and in some plays, which is Joe. You can elaborate on that in a little bit, but Patrick Graham seems to be playing his personnel well, even though there's some glaring defensive line questions and run-stopping questions. The Bears in the second half worked the run game. And if we think the Niners are going to be a run-first team because there's no Garoppolo and there's going to be problems in the passing game, then we're going to have some things to talk about with our run stoppers up front.
Yeah, I've liked the big guys up front. I wish they would just play, like you said, Dexter Lawrence more instead of getting the guys like Austin Johnson reps. Like when you have Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Dalvin Tomlinson, and BJ Hill, Austin Johnson shouldn't get any. Like there should be no reason for him to get reps. They should be rested all game. And if they're not, there's a problem there if they're not rested.
What's the issue? I mean, they don't want to burn them out, or what could it be?
I don't know. It's hard. I've tried to figure out how to guess. Maybe it's just early season with no preseason conditioning. That's like the best guess I have. But even then, like it's just weird that Austin Johnson's getting that many reps.
They were on the field for, I think it was 8 plays or 9 plays.
I don't know, but I just remember Justin pointed out that on that last drive, like the first few plays, that Austin Johnson and BJ Hill were in, and no Lawrence and Williams.
That was mind-boggling. I tweeted out as well. I did see Justin's tweet. Mind-boggling. I don't understand. You have a Pro Bowler in Lawrence. In my eyes, your only strong suit on that defense, and I'm talking about as a team, is the line.
The D-line unit, yeah.
Use them to your advantage. I was devastated when I watched the Bears just keep running when the Giants needed to stop, and your best players aren't in. Mind-boggling. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the one position where we should expect consistently really good play every week. Like it's up and down at basically every other position, especially now that Saquon's out. And D-line was supposed to be that one position. It's like, all right, well, we're definitely good there.
And the best players weren't playing. Correct. Yeah. That's right on.
What about the offense? I mean, listen, guys, the point totals have not been worthy of any, even a number 1 ranked defense to win games. Losing a very important piece, if not the most important, for both the pass game and the run game. We bring in a guy like Devonta Freeman, who, what can we expect from the Niners? How long is this guy going to be on the field? I mean, what's he going to get? 8 to 10 carries, be on the field for some blocking? What do we expect from a guy like this in a completely different backfield?
Yeah, like I think 8 to 10. I don't know. I thought I was high on Dion Lewis, and then I went and watched the game. I was like, this dude missed hole after hole after hole. I get he was thrown in there unexpectedly, but yeah, I hope Freeman gets like the big play opportunities over Dion Lewis.
I know Joe's going to say Gallman, though. I know Joe's going to come out with some Gallman.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna say Gallman, and I'm gonna do it. I didn't understand. Look, I can't blame Gallman or I should say the coach anymore, because this is not the first coach that has healthy scratched him. So you can't sit here and say, does Joe Judge, what's he have against Gallman? He ain't the first one. But, Gallman makes some mistakes, but I think Gallman is going to get a lot more carries than you think this Sunday. I do have Freeman playing. I had him less than 8 carries, believe it or not. And I think that they'll be by committee, which I wanted anyway. And, everybody tweeted out that maybe this is good in the end because, now you have no idea who to key on. Are the Giants going to running back by committee? Are they going to have a tight end passing attack? Are they going to use all one wide receiver that they have because they don't have any left? So what are they going to do as far as the attack on offense? And you're right. I have no idea what they're going to do. I'm telling you now, I have Gallman scoring the first touchdown on Sunday.
You don't have him starting though.
No, Freeman, I think is going to get the start. You wouldn't have paid the guy $3 million, and I know it's not $3 million. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to have. I understand all that. Yeah, I think he's gonna come out there starting. You think Lewis is gonna start?
Yeah, I think Lewis is gonna start.
I'm gonna say Freeman too. Why? Like you said, they brought him in for a reason. They have two guys who are like supposed to be solid backups, and then they go out and sign Freeman. So even if he doesn't get the most reps, I do think they'll just be like, all right, he's a starter. But then also Joe Judge could be like, we don't hand out jobs and do that kind of thing. But I think Freeman does get the start.
No Garoppolo, no Kittle, no Mostert. No off. I mean, the Niners. This game is going. We're gonna play this game close. It's most. I don't want to. It's gonna be one of those. The Bears game was, and I know Joe. You were watching it, and you went live during it. It was heart wrenching couple of ups and downs, especially in the second half. This game is going to be the same. I want to let both of you guys know that this Niners game is going to be the same. We're going to be in this, no doubt. The question is, can we make that play? Is Daniel Jones going to have to throw 45, 50 passes? I think he's going to have to throw 40, 50 passes.
Mike, we don't even have to worry about Daniel Jones. We have the turf monster. 49ers don't like it. We put in the special turf. We took it from the Jets. We're good to go. A couple of players will be out with turf toes for the Niners in the first half, and we're good to go. And I got to tell you, that Bears game did crush me. Bobby, I don't know how you felt, but it shouldn't take a coach ripping you a new ass at halftime. These are professionals. You don't come out flat like that. You don't come out not knowing assignments, what the hell you're doing in the first half. Completely, utterly disgusting. And then come out in the second half and play ball. And God forbid you tweet something out like that, like, oh, great second half. Oh, well, heart doesn't when you get. I know. Relax, everybody, relax. But if they come out again in the first half, I'm going to go freaking insane.
Give me just a 2-score win. Let us just lead during like the first quarter. Let us lead to start the game. I know we did that against Pittsburgh. Let us just lead through an entire game. We haven't had that since. Well, our only two games that were comfortable last year was the first Washington game, and then the Miami game. And the Miami game didn't matter. It was just more about Eli. So you weren't even thinking about it. Was just more of like remembering Eli. So there was one game last year where we were just comfortable. The other two was the Tampa game and then overtime against Washington. And then you had people like freaking out at you for wanting to win that game. So
you can't win. You can't win when it comes to social media. But you're asking for something that hasn't existed in Giants land in a long time. He's asking for a comfortable win. That's hilarious.
I mean, I would take any type of win, but a comfortable win would just make my day so much nicer. Like, no, I don't have to take any Advil, nothing, just relaxing. It was cloudy here during the fourth quarter, so I had to watch on my laptop because I have the Direct TV. Yeah. So I was watching on my laptop, and my brother showed up for the 2-minute drill, and I was just at my desk, just like, come on, just banging all over everything.
I know.
And then just like you said, heartbreaking at the end.
It was heartbreaking only because I don't know, when Bradbury got the interception, which by the way, what a professional play. Like I said that this got such a ball. I said that this guy should be out on an island, and don't worry about him. Worry about every other side of the field. Worry about the backfield. Worry about the line. Worry about this side, but don't worry about him. Quick question to both of you. Valentine has seen his last days of starter, correct? I mean,
yeah.
No. I'm not even.
No.
That's not even a joke. I really believe that it should just be turned over to Holmes or Yedicum or whatever, and something has to be done.
Yeah, my expectations for him. Sorry, my expectations weren't high for him. Like they're as low as can be. But that touchdown at the end of the half, it's like, come on, man. Like anybody should not there's nobody that should let that play up.
That was embarrassing.
That's one thing I've liked about Graham, though. For the most part, he's hit Ballantyne pretty damn well. I mean, Pittsburgh at the end started throwing like back shoulders. There's nothing you could do against that unless you just flat out double team on that side.
And Johnson's shallow crosses against Pittsburgh, Ballantyne was not. He was a step slow on coming up on those as well. Yeah, I mean, you could tell he's not. You can tell he's not a starter.
He's not a good player.
Two things that I think are haven't been talked about a lot. Bob, tell me if you seen this. One, Bradbury's pick, which was insane. He was about this close to a PI by not playing the ball. Number one, but somehow he picked it, so that happened. And two, Golden Tate's call at the last play. There was also a defensive pen. They also hit him early. Yeah, he pushed off slightly, but they also hit him early. So both of those plays we're not talking about it. You know, it's like a complaint at the end of the game. That's a real thing. We got to go back and look at that tape. Like Tate, sure, pushed off, but he also got hit early. That should be a cancellation. Those calls.
They also held Soybert, and that was never called.
I tweeted that at Soybert in the offseason, and he was like, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you have to remind me of this?"
Yeah, so every time because it's 49er week. What the hell? Jeez, it's 49er week.
49er week. There you go.
I don't know, Mike. I think the Bradbury play has been talked about a lot. I think actually, I don't think it was a hairline away from pass interference. I'll tell you why. Because in how they're taught to play is, look, this guy was defending nicely, waiting for that ball to land, and either strip
and then go for a strip,
arm through, or literally took it from him. I thought it was a fantastic play. It's not like he put his hands up and face guarded. He was literally waiting for that ball. I thought it was a tremendous professional play. And the tape play, yes, you're correct. There was both. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody tell me, one of you guys tell me, didn't Judge lace in the tape on that last play for the interference call or something?
I see.
I can't remember.
Somebody said something that wasn't in Tate's favor. I thought it was Judge.
Yeah, I heard that. I can't remember like Judge hearing it, but I do remember someone saying that like Judge said something like kind of criticized Tate on that. I don't know.
That's all I heard. I don't know either. That's funny. That's all I heard.
The Bradbury pick, the angle was so bad on TV. I think it was Love was coming up pointing the other. I was like, what is he doing? Like, he's pointing the other way like it's our ball. Like, how
did it was a fumble recovery?
I don't know what was going on. I thought he was just like out of bounds or whatever.
And that it's great because you guys know that I don't really get the luxury of a replay at a Giant game. So and I said that with you, Mike, that oh my God, I'm watching replays and I'm like, this is amazing. I get to see a hole opening or I get to see a block. So that replay, I never ever would have seen that play ever. So right. I'm glad I was home for that and saw that replay. I was like, oh, he caught that. That's an interception.
I wonder if that makes you such a bigger homer because of that, Joe. Because you don't get to see players make bad plays on your team. You're like,
Bobby, can I be any big of a homer than I already am?
I know. That's the reason you're a homer.
I don't think
that's what's you own a homer.
That's the reason is you're at every game. So you're stuck in a homer spot. So you only see like the really good plays.
You know what? I got to tell you, Mike, that's a really, really good point. I think I'm becoming worse.
This season is going to make you be more mad at your own team because you're going to see all the holes.
This season is making everybody worse, though. I was like, I've never been so – at least last year after week 2, it's like as heartbreaking it was to say goodbye to Eli, even though he did end up playing, it was like, let's see what Jones is. Like there was the excitement about that. Whereas this year it's just like it's just been brutal on all sides, and Jones hasn't lit it up like the way he did in his rookie year to start off.
I was waiting to see Davis Webb, man. I was waiting to see Kyle Lauletta, just waiting.
Let me ask you that. What was the vibe at the Raiders game with Geno Smith because I boycotted the Giants for that game. I'm usually trying to be level-headed. That was the most outraged I've ever been as a fan was Eli bench.
So I think that, obviously the outrage was not going to Webb because Geno Smith was not going to be your quarterback of the future. So I think, this has been said a billion times. Everybody would have been okay if it was Webb. But McAdoo decided. But all I'm saying is he decided to go with Geno Smith. And, reliving that right now, I still get a little bit, it's not mad, it's upsetting. Because, I took a picture from my seat of Eli standing behind the coaching staff, like with the rest of the players that aren't playing. And it was heartbreaking. It wasn't even mad anymore. It was just heartbreaking. And who else I felt bad for? I felt freaking bad for Geno Smith. Geno took so much shit from Giant fans alike. You have no business playing. You did this, you did that. The guy did nothing, but he's always been a professional, and he got the call. And for that, he was absolutely ostracized by the fan base.
Still, every time I remember they brought him in for a read option with the Chargers. I was like, get this guy off my TV. Yeah. I don't ever want to see his face again.
Right. You're not the only one. You're not the only one.
This is like a throwback episode we're having here. We're going kind of like current stuff, bringing it back to Rich Soiber getting pass interfered on he's running out of the pattern.
All bad memories, though. We're just going back to all the bad memories.
I was just going to say, this whole episode is just absolutely pissing us off. It's not have anything to do with a throwback.
I want to go back, though. This season, listen, they were upsetting games. The Chicago game was a heartbreak. It's a very, very winnable game. The Pittsburgh game, we're winning at halftime. These games were not like blowouts. We're not getting torn apart. We lose a great play. We lose Saquon. And now I want to put this the best way I can. We're getting handed this week the Niners on a silver platter. We're getting an olive branch type of game that the fan base, the media and the fan base, which is, I guess, who we're talking about, after a W against the Niners, which Joe and I in our preseason had this as the first two as wins and this one as the L, everyone will be in a different level if we win this game. And it's been set up incredibly perfect to do it. And this right here, I wouldn't say it's a must win, but it's a must win in the sense that it's going to be a nail in the coffin type of for the fan base.
Yes.
I hope that the franchise understands where it is in a growth stage, but the fan base is a whole nother animal. And this will be, I don't even want to think about the loss. I'm just thinking about the W, thinking about 6 or 7 starters out for the Niners. But the loss, God help us.
That's why we're going to win. No, we got to get these negative vibes out of here. Only wins. But, yeah, a loss would be brutal. And it just would be – we're already at each other's throat. A loss would just bring it up one more level, just like this team sucks. People will turn on Joe Judge. People won't get him fired by 9 o'clock. It'll be bad.
As soon, Bobby, as soon as Saquon went down, fire Gettleman. Saquon is down and hurt. Fire Gettleman. It's like, oh my God. Yeah,
Sorry, Joe. Do we know if the Niners went back and came back again? Went to
like West Virginia or something. Correct.
They didn't go to the West Coast. They stayed not around here because they didn't want to be very far from the turf. They stayed in I believe he's right, West Virginia for the week, and is coming back. And they're gonna take this L. They really are. And then I could jump on social media. I could talk about one game out of first, and I could get everybody to yell at me for that, and we're on our way to the playoffs.
And we're back to normal.
We might be in first. Maybe. We could be in first, honestly.
That's very true.
Cowboys lose. Cowboys lose and Washington loses. That's not a crazy – Cowboys are playing a good team too. I think they're playing –
Seattle.
Yeah, they're going to lose that game. So we're going to be in first place.
Yeah.
That's the vibe we're bringing. We will be in first place.
That's crazy.
Let's go.
We got Bobby from the Talkin' Giants. Bob, give me some of even though we're all over the map, give me a hot take on this week. Give me something interesting. We got no Sterling Shepard, no Saquon Barkley. Who's going to step up? What's going to happen? Hot take style. Hot take time.
Daniel Jones. He's a good quarterback, but he's had 2 bad games. There's been some bright moments in it, but 2 bad games where he put points on, like that fumble, put 3 points on the scoreboard for the Bears. The interception in the end zone, like that was totally deflating. That drive was a game changer, and the interception. So I believe in him 100%. But short term, he did lose 2 games. Like I really do feel he was actually the main component of 2 losses. Now he's a big reason why we were in it. But my hot take is Jones is going to come back, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. We've seen him do that 4 or 5 times already. He has that cold-blooded, nothing bothers him. It's unbelievable. Sometimes it's his biggest enemy, but I think it's his greatest strength. He's the way like Eli. Nothing phases that kid. So he's going to come back. He's not going to have 3 bad games in a row. He hasn't had that in his NFL career. 4 touchdowns for Daniel Jones. I don't care if they're air or ground. 4 touchdowns.
But the first touchdown, Wayne Gallman.
On a swing pass from Daniel Jones. How about that?
Yeah, I'll take it. Look. You're right, Mike. We're all over the freaking place. I have no idea what this episode is about. But I just name it 2 blondes. But 2 blondes and a dude. But I will tell you, I want to talk about this real quick. And I rarely have questions, but I have statements, and I definitely need both your guys' takes. So today for the past 2 weeks already, I've been reading what ifs. I am not a what if guy. I can't stand what ifs. I can't stand looking forward to the drafts. I love listening to Talking Giants. I love following Bobby, Justin. Can't stand when they start talking about people that for next year's draft. Drives me insane.
We're not. We get asked about it, but we're trying our best to not.
Drives me insane. But the Giants have the first pick in the draft. Let me just ask this hypothetical. What do you do? I'm gonna tell you where I stand, and you tell me where you stand. The Giants get the first pick. The generational, because that word gets thrown around like love.
Too easy.
The generational Trevor Lawrence is coming out, and he's attached to every team, whatever. Especially who needs a quarterback.
He looks like Joe 30 years ago.
He looks like me 10 years ago. And he's coming out. Actually, he looked like Bobby 10 years ago. He's coming out. What do the Giants do? I do not want Trevor Lawrence. I believe in Daniel Jones. And I want a king's freaking ransom. Depends.
For me, it depends on what running back's available.
You would go running back? You are the fan. I thought you were serious. You got me. I don't like to argue, but I was like, man, I like the Saquon pick, but you were.
That's actually really, Mike, that was good because everything that's been talked about, it's still talked about.
Right, exactly.
Go ahead, Barry. What do you do?
That's going to be my response to people when they ask me, would you draft? I'm like, honestly, I wouldn't go Clemson. Travis Etienne. Obviously you want the king's ransom, but also I love Jamar Chase, that wide receiver out of LSU. That guy is a flat-out baller. I think he's better than any wide receiver in this last draft.
At 1?
He is a baller.
You take him at 1?
No, I would like to trade back, but if you had to take somebody at 1, I would go Jamar Chase.
And Jamar Chase, you think he's better than Judy?
Yes, I think he's better than anybody in the last draft.
Because I think Judy's going to be Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I love Judy, but when you watch Burrow, Jamar Chase was his guy. He was the best player for LSU last year.
Do not disagree.
I think that guy can be an all-time wide receiver.
We'll see.
We don't get to see him play this year.
We'll see if he does. Yeah. Burrow is lighting it up. So we'll see how much it was Burrow and how much it was Chase. Hot take Joe on the week.
Wayne Train. No. Hold on. Listen, I'm not saying the guy's gonna do anything too exciting. I just believe he's gonna be. I'm sorry. I got Wayne Gellman at 6 carries for 45 yards.
6 carries.
I love how your hot take is someone has 45 yards.
Yards and a touchdown.
And a receiving touchdown? And a rushing touchdown?
It's the Washington game all over again last year.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, is Evan Ingram? Is Evan Ingram? Is Evan Ingram?
That's what I was going to say, Evan Ingram. I was going to say the tight ends are going to play a big role here. I think our tight ends go for double-digit catches and 150 yards. The tight end position.
I like that.
That's a lot of yards. Do you know what bothers me? That every single week, my hot take has been Evan Ingram. I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna be right one of these weeks. He's gonna have.
You just got to keep riding it.
I just said
you just got to keep riding it, baby.
That's why I said in tight end position.
Yeah, smart. Because Caden Smith is the man.
Now, Bob, where are you right now? You watch this in your cave? Where you watch the games?
Yep, it's my little office. I use an office, and it's also used as a car lot. So I split that with my brother. So yeah, I got a little office with my TV, my monitors, all that. And in game, man, I'm like a top man. I'm spinning, taking notes, trying to clip things, paying attention to like trying to get little details. So the games, man, are like a whirlwind for me, especially with these like crazy games we've had to start the past couple of weeks.
Imagine he's been to every game for the last 19 years, having to watch it from his house. Imagine that.
Very, very weird. Bobby, I will tell you that, and I told you this months ago, really enjoy what you and Justin have done. You guys are intelligent fans, and that's a big-time plus, especially for other fans that, don't have time for nonsense. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Congratulations on making the switch. You gave up, being a cabana boy, and you are now.
I miss it. I miss being outside. I really do.
I bet you do. There's no reason why you couldn't just bring your damn phone outside and done this outside. I know what you're talking about. I'm only kidding. But congratulations on making the jump, because it's not so easy when you become complacent in something. Not saying you were complacent, but when you're doing something for a long time and then making the change, it's very hard. So kudos to you. Keep doing what you guys are doing. And all good things. All good things.
We will have Bobby Skinner talking. We'll have Justin. We'll have the Talking Giants on from time to time. Love you guys. Keep rocking. Keep tweeting funny shit, sarcastic stuff. 1 out of 10 sarcastic things, and we'll try to pick out which one of the 10 it is. Thanks for coming on, True Blue. Our call sign, our sign out is Stay Blue. So give me something. Give me it, Bobby.
Stay blue, baby.
All right. 25 to 16 Giants. I don't know how we're going to get 25. 25
Get out of here. 77-0. I'm with you.
All right, boys.
Later.